everyone. Welcome to another episode of Anything and Everything with Donna Lisa. I'm your host, Donna Lisa, and today I have two special guests with me who I met through my daughter and some friends. Everyone on my podcast I have like a personal relationship with, so just kind of want to have these two individuals who are very talented on the show just to share what they've been doing during the pandemic and what they have planned for the future. Today, one of our special guests, actually Joey Miceli, born and raised in Las Vegas. Joey has been writing songs and singing since he was 5 years old. He has over 500,000 total streams on Spotify, over 100,000 streams on Apple Music, and over 100,000 views on YouTube. Amazing. His most recent record, Serendipity, is a journey through Miceli's guilt, heartache, insecurities, and desires. His goal is to help people connect to people, guide them through complex feelings of their own, make people feel understood, and be someone they can look to tell their stories as they relate to one another. My next special guest, Santino Cardinale, born and raised in Las Vegas as well. This 22-year-old singer, songwriter, and producer has created a deviceful and catchy R&B style with elements of a pop influence. He currently has 11 singles out and released his first EP, WAVE, in July of 2020. I did hear that one. That was great, by the way. He, as a producer, Stone Cold, has produced over 50 songs and counting. He is continuing his pursuit of production and is looking to make much more music in the upcoming year. I also want to add, Santino, you actually did my intro audio for the podcast. So thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for that. Got a lot of good feedback on it. I appreciate you stepping up and doing that last minute for me. And I feel like because you've known me for a little while, you kind of knew what I was looking for. So awesome. Welcome, guys, to the podcast. How are you today?
Good. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, no problem. And Joey, you are actually back in New York on campus, correct?
Yes, while you were reading the intros, the subway went by and I was like, oh God.
Oh, that's okay.
Too loud. But yes, I'm back in New York right now, looking at the city out the window behind the computer.
How have things changed since you left to come home for the holidays and going back now after?
I think New York's actually, for me personally, has felt really normal despite the pandemic. The only differences are the restaurants are out on the streets and like sidewalks and stuff. Like all the
you don't have in dining right now?
I think the most it got to was like 25% capacity.
Got it. Okay.
But right now I think there's no indoor dining. I don't remember. But yeah, everything's outside and people just wear masks when they walk around because it's just kind of a sign of respect for each other.
Right.
Yeah, everyone here takes it pretty seriously, which I really like. But I like it here. I think it feels normal, and I mean, it's New York City, so
Well, I'm glad you're back on campus.
Yes.
Yeah. And Tino, you're joining us today from the comfort of your own home. How's everything going with you guys at home after the holidays? Did you guys go anywhere recently? I thought I saw you guys were traveling.
Recently, I think.
Or over the holidays.
Okay, yeah. So I went to Hawaii, like
nice.
Right before Christmas, and with my mom. This was her birthday and stuff like that. It was a big one for her, so she wanted to take the family to Hawaii and everything, and it was really cool. It was really fun experience and beautiful weather, beautiful like scenery, and it's amazing. It's really a treat to go there.
Did you guys go to the island of Oahu?
We went to Kauai.
Okay.
Or Maui. Maui. So
gotcha. Okay. Yeah. My brother lives on Oahu. I've been wanting to take the kids there as well. But how are things with COVID? Because I'm just worried about the travel restrictions.
Well, at least to get into Hawaii, I mean, there's a whole thing you have to do. Like, you have to get tested. Obviously, you have to do like a background thing. Like, have you been in contact with certain people or whatever?
Gotcha.
There's like what is it? You have to upload a recent picture. You have to take a questionnaire. There's all kinds of stuff. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff you have to do.
Well, I'm glad you guys had a chance to get away from the mainland for a little bit and go to paradise. Awesome.
It was definitely
good. I'm glad and happy. It was your mom's birthday, you said?
Yeah.
Happy related to your mom.
I'll
So
tell
I
her.
just want all of the listeners and viewers who are viewing this on YouTube just to kind of know the backstory of how I actually met Joey and Tino. I met them through my daughter, Sierra. They've actually done a couple of concerts for her. She's kind of in this producing mode as a college student, wanting to do concerts and wanted to get some young local talent together her senior year in high school. So she did that. I collaborated with her on putting the event together and met these amazing individuals. And they've been a part of a couple of other groups. But for now, you two are working together, doing some producing together, and also have individual projects going on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So tell me a little bit about how you two met.
It's actually it's a long time, but like we really just got closer after high school. That's kind of how like a lot of my closer relationships have been. Like after high school, it kind of just like you could just who your real friends are and everything. And yeah, Joey and I mean, we've performed together without really knowing who we were, kind of thing. But as far as music goes, I know he was looking for some kind of like EDM-ish, like R&B type beat. And I just kind of started getting into producing a little bit. And he reached out and was like, hey, I'm working on my album, Talkative, and I want you to see if maybe challenge you and see if you can, make some kind of EDM something. So I'm like, all right. So I studied up on some beats and stuff like that. And then I sent him in my head the instrumental, and he loved it and wrote to it and released it. And then he needed one more, and he wanted more of like an emotional type thing. So I sent him that. And then that's kind of the birth of how we started Serendipity and how we're working into our future projects, things like that. So it mainly just came from music, honestly. I mean, because we've known
Nice.
each other, but we never really got too close until more recently.
Okay.
And now he's like one of my best friends. So
Oh,
Yeah,
very nice.
in high school we were in vocal jazz together, and we kind of knew each other. Like, that type of friend where you're just like, "Hey, how are you?" Okay, cool.
Right.
yep, yep.
It's like that kind of thing. And then and then he graduated, and I was just kind of like, "Okay, bye." Did and then I opened Three Card, which was the band he was in with his brothers. They were playing the show at Opportunity Village, and they
Okay.
had reached out to me because they had heard one of my songs called "Hard to Love Me," which
It
they,
goes hard. It's really good. You should
That's
definitely check it.
right. You were in a band with your brothers, Tino.
I was. Yeah, I was in
Nice.
a boy band with her for like 12 years. We almost got signed a few times, but things happen and get in the way, and so. But yeah, no, we used to just perform all over the city and perform all
Okay.
over California, and we even did a show out in Kansas City one time. That was pretty cool.
What
For,
was the
I
name of
think
the
the mayor,
band?
Three Card at the time,
Okay.
but we've changed
Got,
so many times. But Three
got it.
Cards, I think the one stuck the most. So we've had Temperature, we've had Seaboy Stars, Cardinale
Okay.
Brothers, but I
boys.
think Three Card was, yeah, I think Three Card was the name that kind of stuck for people. You know.
Okay. So did you guys do any of those reality shows where they have boy bands
Mm. Well,
competing?
I'll say it's funny because yeah, my brother and Johnny and I were on the show called Boy Band,
Okay.
'cause we didn't know that they were looking to put together a boy band. So when we auditioned, we came in as a boy band already. It was the
Gotcha.
three of us and everything, and then Johnny and I got called back to do the show and everything like that. We were only in the first episode, but
Okay.
it was an interesting experience for sure, being a part of that show
Nice.
and everything.
Awesome. So with you guys having performed in the past together and with COVID going on, how has COVID affected you folks with you know, music and performing? Are you guys doing like more virtual events right now?
Well, we actually did a festival hosted by one of an old high school alumni who goes to Kansas City, I think, or Kentucky. I mean, my apologies. And he hosted this 444 Fest, and so he asked a bunch of Sound City members to go ahead and do it. And so that's like the only virtual performance I think I did over the span of quarantine. Other than that, I've just
Okay.
been doing producing and stuff like that. Just been trying to build on my craft as far as making my music to the next level, kind of thing.
Gotcha. And Joey, have you been doing any performing?
I performed at that same
Okay.
festival back in March, which was
Mhm.
when I was gearing up to release Serendipity. So that was nice because I got to kind of, and then I used that actually to announce the title of the album and stuff.
Okay.
But since then, not really. I've just been more focusing on writing, and I've written a lot in the last year, but it's a lot of stuff that's just never going to come out. Um, just because it was just more of like for me to get through the whole
Okay.
time, you know. Um, and yeah, just doing that, and then doing theater. That's why I'm in New York, is doing theater, and just trying to keep busy in any way I can.
Are you guys performing at all in New York for your theater classes, or is it still all
Um,
virtual?
Everything's virtual.
Okay.
I was just in a show. We were filming, so we had auditioned back in August, and then I got cast in September in a new musical, and we did rehearsals on Zoom every night, and then we actually made like a movie musical kind of thing, like
Oh,
like low budget, kind of just like with the school, and it was just something fun to do and to create new theater and new work that hadn't been done before, and it was just fun. So
right.
that was nice because it just felt like I was keeping myself busy with that, and I felt like I was learning something through that. And then I'm actually doing another new musical this first quarter of the year. So
Okay.
yeah,
Nice. So it's probably really different because you're a theater student to have to do everything virtual and not in person, right?
yeah, because theater, the whole concept of theater really is to feed off of
Right.
the people that you're with in person on stage, and then the energy that the audience gives you, and it's definitely different. I feel like it's been so. I mean, it's almost a year since
I
COVID,
know.
which is so weird because I don't want to like get too used to this, but
Hmm.
I've also just been trying to really adapt to it and get the most out of it that I can.
Gotcha. So I'm curious, Tino, where do you get your inspiration when it comes to music and producing?
Um, I think just a lot of things personally, just like trying to grow and be better and just try to really get my craft together. And so I just spend as much time as I can just trying to keep making stuff, even if it's bad, like even if it's not
Hmm.
something I would put out or something quality, like at least I did it, at least I can like listen back to it and
Right.
improve on like certain things that I missed. And like, I think my main inspiration this year, my main goal this year is just to keep growing and keep changing and, hopefully, be a top tier, artist slash producer, that
Right.
I can really, sell records and everything.
Do you prefer producing over singing? I mean, you both have great voices. You have an
Mhm.
amazing voice as well. Like, which do you prefer most?
It's tough. It's tough. I don't know. I really love being an artist. I really love
Mhm.
singing and, having that kind of creative, pass. But I think as far as production, I think like it's a whole new love for me and I'm new to it. So I kind of want to just keep diving more into like actually making the music part of it.
Right.
I don't know. I just feel like if I work better on my production and everything, then I can get more opportunities and like obviously more respect and more. I can just get more out of what I'm doing.
Got it. Awesome. And Joey, where do you get your inspiration from when you're writing music?
Uh,
Life?
Different stages, but I'm one of those writers. I think everyone has a different approach to it because it is something that's very complex but also super simple. Like
Hmm.
it is so simple to just open the notes app on your phone and write, or get a piece of paper and a pencil and write how you're feeling. Um, I think where the art comes into it is how you put it, and how profound you can make your feelings, and how much you can learn about yourself when you're writing something,
Yeah.
and how clearly you can express how you are feeling in a moment. So
Mhm.
I would say that's where I kind of get my inspiration, is to just really kind of have like a therapy session with myself in a way,
Okay.
where it's like I'm writing down how I'm feeling, but I'm also doing it in a way that makes me understand it better as well. Um,
Nice.
yeah, I seriously just kind of, I actually get most of my ideas for a song and lyrics and stuff when I'm driving, because that's when I do most of my thinking.
When
Uh,
you're alone.
yeah, when I'm alone. And so I'll either just, turn on like the thing on the phone where you can speak into it and it writes it down for you, or, because
Oh, okay.
it's drive safe, everyone, you know what I mean?
Right.
But sometimes I'm like, but let's not talk about it. Um, but Yeah, I would say just kind of from literally a text message, something I see, a conversation I just had. I mean, Tino knows I'm just like, that's really good, you know.
Yeah,
Right.
all the time. I mean, he has this thing where he just taps into something, or he writes a lot from experience too. I've noticed a lot of the stuff, especially in the newer stuff, he's
Hmm.
writing a lot from what he's feeling and what he's thinking, and how he can kind of cope with it. And his best way is obviously to write it down and sing it, basically, and just perform it.
Right.
And he's very authentic with it. I think that's what's special about Joe is he's very like he even with his stories, like they're still genuine and they're still
Hmm.
authentic to him, and obviously it reflects to his friends and whoever's listening.
Yeah, I think those are the best kind of songs though, when you guys are writing about a lot of your experiences, what you're feeling. Yeah.
100%, 100%, because it's the most genuine, it's the most real and most tangible thing that you have at the moment. And if
Hmm.
you sell that to people and because people obviously they experience similar things, not exactly to a T, but they could be feeling the same things that he's feeling, but to a greater degree or a lesser
Right.
degree, but they'll still feel what he's going through,
Yeah.
regardless of you know how intense it
Right.
is.
And I used to
Now,
approach writing a lot from the aspect of like, or from the perspective of what's going to resonate with someone the most. But I've
right.
just kind of learned that what I'm going through enough. I know I'm not alone, and so people will um, understand it. And if they do resonate with it, great. If they don't, then there's
There's
Hmm.
a new experience,
however
right?
many songs on the album that they can see if it resonates with them or not. You know.
I think, and music is such a great way to connect with people. They can relate to a lot. I mean, we've all gone through that. I was a teenager once before. You go through the heartache and you go through the first love and all that stuff. So yeah, I think that's great.
Yeah.
Um, I know you guys kind of have different paths on how you started in music and entertainment. Tino, for somebody looking to get into this, what kind of advice do you have to offer them? Because it's not easy. I see what you guys do.
Yeah, just be prepared for a long journey. I mean, I've been doing it. I've been performing with my brothers for 12 years, and I've been doing production and everything, artist wise, for about three. So I've been doing it for about 15 years already, and
Wow.
I'm only 22. Like it's a long journey. But as far as advice goes, if you want to be an artist, just study like who you want to be, like what kind of artist, what kind of sound you want, and just try to develop a sound from listening to artists that you like and you listen to and you
Right.
want to as far as producing, I mean, it's sort of the same deal, but just learn the basics, really just take time to really just learn, just keep learning and keep being open, I think is like the main thing. Because I mean, I always thought I'd be stuck in like an R&B kind of realm for my career, but I mean, I've branched out into so many different genres, even just in the past couple years. I
Yeah,
mean, you just never know. And so you always just got to be open, especially in music, because you never know. You really
that's
never know.
true. And it's always changing too, so definitely keeping up with what's going on. So,
Exactly.
Joey, what kind of advice do you have for somebody who's wanting to get into music and entertainment?
Um, I say you have to really look into whether it's something you really have to do or want to do. I think there's a big difference between those things. And I kind
Yeah.
of, when I was young, my mom can attest to this. I tried all the sports. They tried so hard to like see what I liked, but I always returned to dancing and singing. I mean, when I was literally like 3 or 4, I all I wanted was for my grandma to make me a cat's costume so I could dance and
Oh,
watch the Cats musical.
that's so cute.
Yeah, and so I would wear my tail in my ears and just dance around the house. And I mean, it was like performing was something I had to do in order to be myself.
Hmm.
And so, and as I've gotten older, I've just seen that there's friends of mine or people I just know that they want to perform for whatever it is, validation, attention, whatever, or they feel like they have to because they would go insane if they don't. And so I think that's where I kind of stand with it. It's like really look into it, and even if it's something you want to do, do it. I mean, if it makes you happy, do it. Um, but also just be confident in yourself and know that you are enough, and also learn to grow. Don't ever think you're perfect, I guess, and don't ever expect too much of yourself either. Um, yeah, I think it's simple, but it's also complex in that.
Nice. So, do you both have any future plans to expand your portfolio? I know, Tino, you've kind of touched on this. Joey, what do you think you're going to do after school's kind of done?
Lots of auditioning. I
Okay,
would love to just act and sing and dance and I don't know, on a stage I feel most comfortable.
right.
So, well, on a stage or in a studio behind a mic, whatever that may be, performing. Um, and I also just never want to stop writing or making music. I mean, like that's how I literally live. Um, so I don't know anything that has to do with that, and I'm just gonna keep trying and trying and trying. And I mean, my main goal, I think, as I was growing up, I was like, well, I have to be famous in order
Mhm.
to, really get people's attention and blah 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 blah. But I'm at a point in my life where it's like I've given that up, and it's like that doesn't matter. I mean, what matters is that I connect with the people that are listening, and only hope to connect with more people, because that's my main goal now is to help people. And especially with the new music I've been making, I've just realized a lot about how much my words can affect someone.
Hmm.
And I think that's so cool. Like you were saying, I mean, music is so universal and goes through so many phases. And it's
Right.
just, I don't know, it's so cool. It's literally a language,
It
you know?
definitely is, yeah. So I ask all my guests this question. Tino, is there like a daily affirmation or quote that you like to start your day off with?
Um, I mean, not necessarily. I just try to go into like the frame of mind, like, expect, anything and everything. Like, like this podcast. I mean, it's
Right?
literally that's kind of how life is. I mean, I'm always just prepared for whatever comes. That's kind of how I roll. I don't really have like a set thing I tell myself every day, but more or less just to go out and just be good and and just treat people kind of like the way I want to be treated, kind of thing. Like I don't know, I don't have a set thing that or routine. I just kind of
Right.
go through the day and just be myself, be as genuine as I can, and that's it. Just move on.
That's good. That's great. Yeah. Definitely be authentic and genuine. Joey, do you have the daily affirmation or quote that you start your day off with?
Uh, Pretty similar, I guess. One specific is before my grandpa passed away. Well, not before, but when I was growing up, he would always say, "Forgive, don't forget. Forgive,
Mm,
don't forget." And that just always stuck with me for some reason because it's so true. I think
yeah.
empathy is something that our community is lacking, and our that people lack in general. And so I just always want to be as empathetic as possible, and you know, be there for people and try and understand that they are the way they are because of things that they've gone through. Like it's a lot deeper than people would think, and it's not just surface level.
Right.
So forgiving them is something I is a kind act that I can do, but I don't necessarily have to forget, and I can work on that on my own and take
Right.
myself in that way. But also just be kind and respectful and try to choose kindness over any hate. I think we're all human. We all have our moments, but just
Yeah.
it's not hard.
It's been definitely, especially right now. I know there are a lot of people who are just like, you know what, just be kind, especially with the year we've had recently. So, what kind of future projects are you both working on for 2021?
Joe.
um, Lots, I guess. Let's see. So this is our first time saying this, I guess. But Tino and I actually decided last May-ish that we wanted to do a record together. So we're going to be doing a duo album, and we're going to be going under a different alias and stuff, and just kind of approaching like a new sound that we thought would be uh, fun to get out of a pandemic too, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
Which I think you can tell what that means. But just good vibes and lots of music coming from both of us soon. I'm really excited about that. And
So
then
instead of you
been
guys
working.
collaborating, just collaborating together, you guys are going to be an actual like group.
Hmm.
Nice. Okay. Oh, I can't wait. So
Yeah.
is there something that you guys want to showcase for us today on the show?
Yes.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, we have a
Awesome.
little snippet of a song that's going to be on our debut record, I guess.
Okay.
And it's called Deny Me. And I'll just play a little like snip snip, okay?
Sure.
I hope one day you'll find a man that you want, yeah, you've always wanted. It's easy to say, I understand, I'm the one you should love. I dare you to deny me, defy me, even though I'm good for you, even though I know you're bound to deny me. I'll keep trying to show you I'm good for you. Could you ever know, baby?
I love it. So can I just say, that just gave me goosebumps. Like I totally just, I can picture you guys like, no, I miss the days that you guys performed at House of Blues.
I know.
Like it just got goosebumps and I'm like, oh my God, I can totally see you guys performing that. So I can't
Yeah,
wait.
I'm
Kid
Yeah.
Night 3, man.
super
We're ready for Kid
excited.
Night 3.
Good
I
night, three,
know.
Sierra.
Sierra
Sierra, I know
has
you're
been,
editing this. I see you.
she has been like getting ready for it. She's been prepping. We've been looking at or kind of scouting different venues for this and who she wants on it. I mean, of course, you guys have definitely been great supporters for
Mm.
her project, and she definitely wants you guys on again, but like other dancers and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, she's like you guys, she's just waiting for things to open up so everyone
I
can just
know.
hang out and have a good time again and just be free. Yeah.
Yep.
But
Yep.
that was a really good like way to close out this episode. I
Yay.
can't wait to have you guys perform again. I definitely am a
Uh,
huge fan. Every time you guys were performing at House of Blues, Sierra would send me a text and say, "Can you meet us there after work?" Or because we were so busy before the pandemic, and I was always busy at work. And I'm like, "Sure," and it was just a great way to end my day. So thanks for
um,
the great performances, guys, and
I'm
thanks for
glad.
that
Of
snippet.
course.
I'm excited.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
do you guys have an actual launch date for the album?
We've been bouncing a bunch of dates, so nothing
Right.
confirmed yet.
Okay.
We
Yeah.
also just want to make sure that when we decide to actually put the music out and launch us as a duo, that we have the
The
best
content.
approach and content that we could
Okay.
have at the time. And we're just both, I mean, it's hard when I'm moving back and forth from Vegas to New York constantly throughout the
Oh,
year.
Mhm.
So, it's just trying to work around that and make it all work while he's also working on a million different projects and
right.
also helping me with my own solo stuff and working on his
Mhm.
own solo stuff. The
Mhm.
boy's busy. So,
You're busy, Tino. That's awesome. I mean,
yeah.
it's
All
great
right.
that you help everybody with their own personal projects and you also have your
Mm.
own individual solo project too. So, I
Yeah.
love your music, guys, and
Mm.
it's
Thank
funny
you.
how Sierra kind of found you guys. Like I think her sophomore year, Joey, she kind of started tuning into your music. I think it was on,
Yeah,
was it Spotify? I can't remember, but it was one
I
of
don't know, but
those.
I remember, I think Jazzy, our friend
Yes.
Jazzy, she was the one that was like, yeah, this girl named Sierra. I don't know if they were friends or not before. I don't really know, but
No, she
she
just found
reached
you
out.
guys on the internet. I was
That's
like, she
crazy.
had this idea. She's like, I want to host a concert eventually, local young talent. They do it in California. And I mean, as a mom, you're like, sure, okay.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
who do you know? I said, who performs? Like, I don't know any of your friends that sing. And she's like, oh, these people. So she just started showing me your guys' feeds and listening to music. And I was like, oh, you actually have been thinking about this for a while. So she was
Mhm.
following you guys for a while. And she asked Jazzy to perform at her Sweet 16 when she did. Joey, you were actually at school at the time and couldn't do it, or
Yeah,
I
I
can't
was I
remember.
wasn't even
Right.
in Vegas.
And then after that was kind of the start. She wanted to do Kid Night and she called up Jazzy, and Jazzy said, so I have a whole bunch of other friends that want to perform too, and I think it'd be great. And yeah, she was just really excited. I mean, you guys are so talented, and I love
Thank
what
you.
you guys do. Everything that you guys come out with, it's great. And you're great
Well,
performers too. I love watching you guys on stage. So
thank you. Well, we're
can't
just
wait
very
for that.
lucky to have you guys in our lives, and we're
Mhm.
grateful, to not only have all the opportunities you've given us, but just to have great people in our lives like you and Sarah.
Yeah.
So,
No, for sure. And I appreciate you guys wanting to do this podcast for me
of
because I
course.
definitely want to showcase young local talent here in town, not just, business owners and entrepreneurs that I know, but I think you guys have a lot of good things coming your way. You guys have a lot to offer, and I'm excited to see you guys grow.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, you two enjoy the rest of your weekend. Joey, I hope to see you again, when you come back home. And Tino, hopefully when things open up, we can like run into each other again. Schedule
Yeah, right.
coffee or something with Sierra.
Yeah, let's do it.
Awesome. Okay, guys, have a good day. I will chat
All right.
with you later. It's good seeing you all.
Yes,
You
thank you
too.
so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.